Hello again everyone, I'm Jim the IT Guy, welcome to another video. Apologies for the delay, it's been a bit busy starting up a business in the middle of this COVID epidemic, but needs must in all, so I haven't had much chance to do anything in the way of recording videos, so I thought, well, might as well actually get on top and get something sorted. So after all this time, it's about time I fix my PC, to be honest. Project Chinesium has been sat on my table with a broken water pump for months now, since before my last video I did. So without further ado, I'm going to quickly show you, well not quickly, I'm just going to show you the fun in rebuilding the poor thing and getting it back up and working again, because running on my little Z box that is in some other videos is a bit sluggish when I have a dual Xeon machine sat idling doing nothing. Anyway, onwards! Well, here we are, ladies and gentle people. This is Project Chinesium, and this is the water pump that has packed up. As you can see as well, it was growing things, even with some biocides in there. So this is the fun job. I'm going to drain the thing down. I've got two CPUs to swap into it as well, which are sat over there. I have a new pump to go on the system, which I'm going to replace the base of that. That's the pump that's backed up. Again, this is all bar the graphics card and the power supply. This all came from AliExpress. This is all lovely cheap Chinese stuff. So it was doing well. It did 6 months, but let's see how long pump number 2 lasts, shall we? Just to show, this is the sort of stuff that happens when you get a bit of growth in your water cooling system. This is just algae, and obviously it does no good to the components. So I say we've stripped down that. I'll give the radiator a flush out, dismantled the reservoir, and give everything a good clean. Get rid of the gunk that's on it. Again, it's the LED RGB. But yeah, this water will be going as well. Right. Okay, now as you can see here, this is the new pump, this is the dead pump, and oh look, give or take a little bit, they're the same. Standard Chinese stuff actually. Only difference obviously being is this one's got a reservoir built into the top of it, which obviously I built my system to have. So what I'm going to do is swap the lids over, and we'll then make use, because it's actually this part that's dead. And obviously the difference I'm guessing is the D model has a reservoir and the B model does not. Anyway, there we go. So I'm hoping I can just swap these two straight over. We'll find out. And just so you can see what the inside of a cheap Chinese water pump looks like, here it is. And that is very stiff. So I would say that has seized up. What else we got here? Some got this basic, there's a little control board in there obviously, a couple of like thermal pads, but basically this is what you get for not a lot of money from China when you buy a water cooling kit. Not the greatest thing in the world, as the RGB ring. That is, as you can see, very stiff. So we'll see what the other one looks like when I take that. See what the new one looks like when we take it apart. And here you can see this is a working one that actually spins nice and freely. Obviously isn't blue stained because there's been no colouring in the unit, but visually I'd say these two are, let's line them up so they match. So yeah, obviously identical. Obviously this one is seized up, this one on the other hand is not. So this one will be going in the bin. And now, using all the skill of a IT techie, let's put them back together again. And there we have it. One fixed water pump, which I'm now going to go and wash out just to get rid of any lingering stuff that may be in there. Now, what we're putting in is a pair of Xeon E5 2690 V3s. These came courtesy of Bytestock. I know Joe at Bytestock has been nagging me to do this swap video ages. There you go, Joe. These are the CPUs that came from your lot. Looks like it's the right way round. We're putting CPUs in backwards. These are, from memory, I think these are either 12 or 14 cores, and have a base clock of 2.6. I think they boost up to about 3.2 or 3.4, somewhere around there, which is better than the 2650s I've taken out, which were 10 core CPUs with a base clock of 2.3 and boosting up to 2.8. So it should be a nice little boost for some folding numbers, which is what this rig was doing most of the time. And let's just sort out these heat sinks a minute, because for some reason it's decided to get stuck. Typically the one came off, but I didn't want to. But hey ho. Just drain out any water that's left in them while I'm messing. And this thermal compound is reasonably fresh. That's less than 6 months old, but it's cheap China stuff. And now there's going to be people screaming, oh, you need to use isopropanol and all that stuff. This is Project Chinesium. This gets not a lot of care spent on it because it's a test bed. But as you can see, it's not even, these aren't even copper bottomed, so, but I'm an IT guy. I've been doing this a while. Sometimes the greatest things in the world that are proclaimed by some tech YouTubers in the real world don't get done. What does, however, get done is Arctic silver. And in my opinion, it's quite simple. Line, splodge, splodge, line, splodge, splodge. And that's how I do it. Some people may say to do it differently, but so far, on hundreds of CPU installs and swaps, I haven't had an issue, and I don't think I will. Now, let me just grab that little plastic washer there, line up this. These are horrible and cheap and nasty CPU heatsink water cooling blocks. But you know what? They've been doing a sterling job so far. And I can't say I've had any complaints about the temperatures in this rig, because it has kept them very, very cool. And if we slot everything back together again, and put in the first pin that side in. These are horrible, horrible mounts on these heat sinks, those water blocks. But the whole point of this whole system was to be cheap and nasty, but to prove that cheap and nasty sometimes does actually work. Whoops. Grab a little bit of plastic for a washer. Put it back in the hole. And as per normal, standard opposites. Tighten it all up. Put the second CPU back together. And again, even though this is thumb screwed on, let's just get the link between the two water blocks joined back up tight. Don't want that one leaking. Again, same rule as with any tightening sequence. Opposite, opposite. And keep going round until you're done. And there we go. CPU swapped. And for now, we are all back together. And then comes the fun part. Leak testing. It's always fun building a water-cooled system because you never know what bits are going to leak, weep, drip, flow. Again, mop up stuff on standby. but I'm going to get it filled and we'll go from there. Right, fluid is in. We've got a full main reservoir, a half full secondary, which I'm expecting the main to drain out quite quickly into the secondary. We have water on standby to top up the main, and we have a rag and an off switch in case of leaks. The only question now is, will it post? I've got it connected up. I'm going to use the standard screwdriver of turning on this. I'm pretty sure it's these two. Or it's these two, one of the two. Those two, something like that. I can never remember with this board. As you can see, I never even got round to sorting a power switch out for it. There we go. Oh, and we've run dry already. Let's add more fluid. Well, the good news is I don't see any leaks yet. There you go, look at that funky RGB-ness. Have we got any dripping? No. My flow meter has seized up as well, but I can see we are having flow. We've got fans, but more importantly, do we have post? We do. Look at that. Booted in before I even had time to catch it. Good news! It's alive! Complete with faster CPUs and new and improved oh. Let's give it the quick tap. When all else fails on mechanical things, hit them. But anyway, there we go. Project Chinesium lives again on its second water pump. Oh, we're leaking. Well, that was going well until it wasn't. And that is why you always have stuff to mop up on standby. Highly recommend these mouse mats actually. Right, looks like I need to replace the flow gauge as it's a bit knackered. I'll get on that. Well, she's alive. She's not leaking yet. Do some more testing. But we now have keyboard and mouse plugged in, so let's go back onto my desktop. make sure we have all, yeah, so 2 12 cores with 48 threads, and let the folding commence. Anyway, Project Chinesium lives again, and we didn't get too wet. This is what is possible with cheap stuff from AliExpress. But anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, hopefully there will be more videos coming a lot quicker than this one. Please feel free to like, subscribe. I'm going to try and focus a bit more on the home lab side of stuff once this is back up and running, as this is my main video editing machine as well. So doing editing on other machines has been a bit off-putting, so hopefully should be back on the ball now. Many thanks, and I'll catch you again soon.